Hello friends, Crafts and Collage here. Uh, this is not planned. I just kind of was in the mood. I just really haven't had I don't know, the energy or the spoons or whatever it is to do any creative stuff at all. And I've missed it, but sometimes, especially, with divergence, it's hard to move forward and, actually start something, get something done, etc. So, we are going to have a Gluebook page today. Hopefully I can make up for some of my tardiness over the last couple of months and so on. So let's see. But we'll walk through this book real quick. There we go. I love a lot of this stuff. I think when we are our own best fans, it's an awesome feeling, and we need to be our own best fans. I mean, really, when it comes right down to it, we're doing the work because our inner eye can see it. Sorry. It's our inner eye that can see it. It's us that's got it laid out in our head, So really, ours is the only eye that matters, and you need to be your own best fan. You really do. Your own biggest fan. Yep. I so thoroughly enjoy this, but then the ADHD kind of takes me off course sometimes. And it's annoying, but it happens. So, here we go. Alright, so we've got, oh, see, it's getting chunky. It won't even, look at that, won't even lay flat anymore. I love it when, I mean, we don't have long to go in this magazine this time at all. So, I don't know what focal point I was thinking of. This can be actually, instead, here we go. Let's put this one away. And instead, let's begin our Victorian journal. Remember I said I was going to do, well, I made this the other day out of it's an old magazine, and there was no covers on it because I liked the previous covers, of course. I pillaged the covers. But I put new covers on, and I love that washi tape. See, it's like a lettering, an old lettering. So this is going to be the Victoriana kind of, because I have, like, I told you I got a bunch, like dozens of Victoria magazines in an amazing exchange off marketplace. And so I'm going to specify this book for just Victorian stuff because it's so beautiful. And when you put it together, it's like, I don't know, it's like you get something that you can, it sounds really goofy, but that you can disappear into for a little bit. I'm sure other people, like there are people that really love the Mad Men era, the Edward Scissorhands era, which would be the, late 60s, 70s kind of thing. Blech, not so much. I don't like that. I hated the furniture, the Spanish suites of furniture my mother used to love. All that other crap. I hated it. I was much more into the Victorian stuff, but again, it's such a two-sided time in history. Some of the worst child endangerment stuff and people's rights and so on, and racism and stuff, but also some of the most interesting writing, some of the most interesting cartooning, art, and so on. So yeah, it's a real, I suppose every era in history is like that, but it's a real double-edged sword. So why not begin the Victorian layouts today? So let's see, because these mostly I had set aside a bunch for a Victorian thing I was going to do, and then I forgot about that. And let's see what folk, oh, that's so pretty. Oh, it's so hard to decide with things like this. Ooh, ooh, the garden. Oh, look. Yeah, these are all little ones. We could sort of fit in there. I do love that. Oh, and the Victorians were so interested in Egypt. It was a huge thing. But the whole, I don't know, the architecture, the imagery, all so pretty, you know. All right, these aren't, that's an awesome picture. Just awesome. Definitely with the top hats. If you didn't own a top hat, you really weren't anybody. Beautiful. So I hope everybody is doing well. I hope everybody is just doing really, really well. Get down. No, no, no. No, no. You are not going that way. Sorry, guys. Oh. Get down. Thank you. You don't get to crawl across my surface like that. That's not right. Not right at all, kitty. That's Bodie. That's Bodie. All right, now I'm all mixed up here. Okay, so we're going to keep that out just for cut-ups. That might be cool. All right, so they're a little bit smaller pages than the other magazines I work in, because I usually pick a Canadian Geographic or Canadian Living magazine to sacrifice to the good of the Gluebook. And this is a little smaller book. This is a little bit smaller. I really like that, but it's not. No, I kind of like that, but oh, which house do I like more? Where was the house? Thanks, kitty. That would be, I wonder what age these cottages are, these buildings are. I don't know. I think I like this one. Why not do both? Could we do both? Why not? Or that's too much. That's too much. The hat guy can wait. This, or part of it, would look awesome with this bench there. So that's an idea. And this, Alright, so let's take a look at this little bundle that I set aside. Oh, let's just see where we're at. Oh, what have we got? Alright, so so hard to decide today. But I think that's the challenge I actually came on today to sort of do. Just because I needed to force myself to get on and be creative and do something. I've been writing in my journals, but writing isn't the same as some visual creation, if you like visual creation, no matter what it is you're into, right? Do you know, I'm thinking this would be a fun centerpiece, even though for some reason she looks stern, you know. Well, I guess not really, you know, but it's definitely an interesting picture. I really didn't think this one through. I'm sorry, guys. So let's stick to some of the smaller images for now, because it's smaller pages. Let's see how that works for us, shall we? All right, let's move some of this off of here. All right, so I love that picture, and I love this picture. I could take a portion of that. That would be really kind of cool. All right, let's take a portion of this picture. Okay, and all right. So, oh, I lost the. All right. Nope, I don't think any of those will go. Oh, see, I like the door side better. I love this tree side, but I do like the door side, so I think we're going to go with the door side over on this side. If that makes any sense to you guys at all, I mean, seriously, if you've been hanging around my table here for any length of time, you'll know how Janet that sounds, right? Okay, so oh, look at these house pictures. Oh my god. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't want to go back in time. There are too many horrid things can happen to you and you're not ready for them. It's just is the way it is. Like, that's the way it is. You know, aspirin, toothbrushes, things like that. You know, coffee makers. Things like that. I would just miss them far too much. But the idea of living in one of those cottages or one of those houses, someone I used to follow, I don't even know if I'm repeating myself now, guys. I could be. I could have told you this story already, so stop me if you've heard it before. Oh, there we go. Yeah, all right. She makes bread. Yep, this poet, this lovely man, John, now I'm not going to be able to remember his last name. It's been about 10 years since I heard anything of him. He lived in Somerset, I believe, with his husband, and he was just wonderful. He was a blogger at the time when blogs and collections of blogs and big communities of bloggers was a huge thing, right? And it was wonderful reading his blog, frankly. It was absolutely incredible. Just entertaining, and, you know, he'd always talk about bits and stuff. And he and his husband they had bought a house in Somerset that was over 1,000 years old. It was an inn, an old pub. And everything original was still there. I mean, it had been upgraded, you know, a lot. But all the original work and the fireplace and everything was all still there. And I'm like, I can't even imagine it. You know, over here in North America, it's kind of like if we get to 200 years without them knocking it down, we're golden, right? Because they love to knock stuff down over here. Replace it. And it, you know. Wow, that's a nice picture too. So, yeah, so living in a house that old, I can't even imagine. I mean, the hands that had touched the door frame alone over those years, you know, both negative and positive, good and bad people, travelers, vagabonds, the king's men, you know. When you live in a historic place, I think many of the people that live in historic places take it totally for granted. And I'm sitting here in Ontario that's like, was settled, what, 150 years ago? You know, settled. The invaders. You know, but anyway, that's what I mean. Like, you guys have no idea the history just beneath your hands. It doesn't feel like it anyway. Maybe some of y'all do, but you're so used to living in it, you know. It's like seeing Dickens' part of London at Christmas time. I would love to see that. Absolutely love it. But, you know, you guys maybe, the people that live there, I'm not sure that they even, you know, so. But I have a bucket list for sure of travel. I think my daughter and I are going to the Royal Museum in Toronto this month sometime. A single overnight to Toronto on the train. Sounds lovely. Absolutely lovely. And then we're going to do the Royal Museum the next day, or that afternoon. I think in the, possibly the, there's something else, some other attraction there that we would like to see. Wow, it's a slow video today, folks. I'm sorry. I'm kind of dawdling and not really remembering that you lovely folks are going out of your way to watch this. Seriously. Where's my card? I like the two together, like she's making something in the kitchen and there's bread fresh on the, it's probably like a pantry or side of the kitchen sort of thing, but the paintings are throwing me, I'm not sure. Maybe it's just all a staged set. Probably. Heck, probably. Silly Janet. Okay, what is she making? Oh, she's mixing a batter of some sort. Yes, indeed. I find that there's some papers, some quality of magazine images or images that just don't go over these middle bumps very well. I guess those are the ones you save for like the spiral binding or the flat line lay, you know, sketchbook kind of thing, because they just, it's not often, but they just don't seem to be okay with molding to the center hump, if you will. There we go. I love that. I like that. I like that a lot. Now, I also saw this one, which would be awesome. I think maybe I'll start that up here. We had a birthday party for my granddaughter on Sunday, 5, and she got, her mom did a theme of princesses, Disney princesses. So she got her a full-length mirror and 5 gorgeous little costumes. 3 of them were actually Disney ball gowns and stuff. And my granddaughter was just beside herself. She's autistic, and so when she expresses excitement about something, you know she's excited. Like, it's just, you know, it's the can't grasp for words kind of excited, and it was wonderful to see. Absolutely wonderful. And I was wondering why I was feeling so tired the last couple of months, and turns out I needed a new mask for my CPAP machine. I guess I had lost enough weight around my face that there was leaks springing, and get this, the machine sits beside my bed, of course, right, because there's a hose on it and stuff. And I woke up one morning, there was a note on it. It said, "Hi Janet, you need a new mask. Yours is leaking." And I laughed and laughed because, like, I had to put on my glasses and, like, actually take a shot with my cell phone so I could read the lettering, because it's a little tiny on a little screen about this big, right? "You need a new mask," and they used my name and everything. It's really funny. It's a wonderful company here in town that I deal with. And "Hi Janet, you need a new mask. Yours is leaking." So I went and got one yesterday, and yeah, that's what it was. But oh, when you start to, I don't know if you have apnea, if you start to feel that kind of weird tired again, oh, it's scary. That's really beautiful. That's a potpourri, and that is gorgeous. Not exactly fitting in with the stuff, but let's see what else we can find. I like these books. Yada yada. Huh. Most of its places right now. I'm not running into any of the stuff I had cut out. I got all those magazines and cut a bunch of stuff out right away. But do you think I can find it? No. Oh, look at that. That's kind of cool. If I can fit those two in the picture as well. That's kind of neat. But oh my goodness, this or this. Okay. All right. These two I actually want to use. I actually want to use them because they just are beautifully color coded with this. So I want to use them in some way. I love this page, and I'm probably not even following my own, you know, doing a Victorian page thing. Probably not even following my own directions here, but isn't that what creativity is? Busting out. Who needs a to-do list on a piece of creative stuff? I mean, maybe some big pieces or commissioned pieces, you know, that you're getting paid for and stuff, maybe so. But, like, no one needs a set of directions when you're looking at a pile of magazine images that you don't know what to do with. All right, I've lost my card again. Everybody freeze. Freeze, don't move. There it is. By the way, if any of you have a problem with, you know, divergent memory and keeping track of things, these little bracelets are amazing. You buy them in a package of like 10 for a couple bucks. And then you can add tags if you want, but each one of the colors is reminding me of something. So it's just a system that seems to work fairly well for me. I like that. I really do. Okay, this is going to be a really different kind of setup. I don't think I've ever done quite this. Carefree? Is that a good word? Carefree, that's a perfect word. We'll stick with carefree. Yeah. We will. Yep, there we go. Oh, time for another glue stick. When the end drops out, you know it's time. Where's the card? There it is. Janet put up on the other side like you learned. That's ridiculous. Okay. Boy, I wish my lighting was better. I still am complaining about my darn lighting. gosh, when will it ever end? The lighting thing. I'm sorry, I wish you could see it better. Does it help if I lift it up some? Okay, so I think we need to keep this to smaller images. Alright, I need to finish gluing this. Sorry, I had someone come to the door with a delivery. Standard thing since, you know, the pandy and everything. Delivery. Okay. So, I do love this. I think it's gorgeous. I just don't know. It doesn't fit in here. I think that's going to be a special occasion on January 31st. So, I want the books. I actually love that picture. I definitely... Alright, so what about the books and the pen and ink? Doesn't really vibe with me that way though, and I love the pen and ink picture. I'll put it away for a writing themed one. I do have a bunch of stuff saved up for a writer's theme one, like a kind of a writing thing. Oh, this is cool. Okay. And the books, those could stack. So many little images here. I have a different, this is the drawer for images or ones I'm currently that aren't on file or in folders. But I also have this big container of all these tiny images this size. And yet, you know, sometimes they just work. I kind of like that. Oh, I kind of like that. Next to the kitchen. That kind of works. What do you think? Let's see. Sometimes it's really hard for folks to push through a time where things, it's not that you're not positive, you know, or have good thoughts or anything. I'm not talking about outright depression or anxiety. And well, anxiety is a bit of it, but I'm not talking about that per se. It more has to do with a time when you sort of just disconnect, like, you know, the inner intrusive thoughts are just too intrusive and uncomfortable, and it doesn't have anything to do with anything like being, you know, I'm not talking about harming the self or anything like that. I'm talking about just a time where you seem to, I don't know, stop thinking for a little bit. Sort of just disconnect a little bit. I know my art sometimes does that for me. Now, don't get me wrong, filming something is a very different feel in some ways than just sitting here with my music blaring and arting, you know what I mean? That can be a very different feel. So, yeah, sometimes I think maybe it's not burnout, because I'm not a busy enough woman for burnout. Okay, bye-bye this glue stick. Let's see what we have. Time for a new one. Yes, indeed. Time for a new glue stick. Come on. I know I have some in this drawer. My daughter bought me the most gorgeous set of gouache. She does product reviews. And she got me one of the sets. Come on, where's my glue stick? What the heck? Excuse me, I'm pausing you a minute, guys. Okay, sorry about that. I couldn't find my glue stick for a minute. So, yeah, I was telling you that my daughter, oh my God, where did that come from? My daughter got me this beautiful set of gouache. And that's the palette that comes with it. Isn't that gorgeous? I have never really used gouache much, so it's going to take me some time. It's basically, I've done some stuff with it. It's basically thicker than watercolor, like more opaque, and it is still water soluble, but it almost appears like, the texture of it appears like acrylic. And the one thing about gouache as opposed to watercolor is that with watercolor you have to start with the light and go to the dark and so on, you know, layers, that kind of thing. But with gouache you can actually lay the white over a dark color and it still looks white, like it works. So there's more pigment to it, or a different kind of pigment. But oh my goodness, that's a beautiful set. And she just handed it to me and went, here you go, Mom. Maybe it's because she mothers me. I don't know. I'm grateful to have my family around me, that's for sure. Okay, so let's get this over with, guys. You've been hanging in with me already too long, and I feel sorry for you. Okay, so all right, got that one. We have the books. Tale of Two Cities. Yeah. That's bang on the period, that's for sure. I think, despite his human or male drawbacks, Dickens had a real handle on what the Victorian period meant in his society. You know what I mean? Like, I think he pegged it perfectly in some of his stories. The whole, you know, Scrooge and the penny pinching and things like that. And just his characters are so incredibly alive to me anyway. I love reading Dickens. But that's, to blame it on my mom for that, because she was a massive fan. Massive. I like Edgar Allan Poe as well. As far as the classics writers, those are two of my favorites. Okay, this woman, I think, needs to be near this cottage. So we're going to cut her out and stick her near the cottage. What a mishmash today. I promise that the next Gluebook session is a little more organized. A little more thought out, eh, Jenna? Jeez. Jeez Louise. Okay, so I don't mind covering that up a bit. And I shall take the bottom off this. Oh, I was terrified there for a minute. I thought I didn't have any glue sticks. The horror. Like, I can't imagine me without a handy supply. I mean, my family even brings me home glue sticks from the dollar store every time they go. They're wonderful people. Yeah, that totally belongs there. Yeah, they bring me the Elmer's glue sticks. Every time they go to the dollar store, they bring me home 3 or 4 of them. Yep. They understand the need for glue. They do. They get it. So is anybody putting in their garden? Have you guys been gardening much at all or anything like that? I love the outdoors, but it's been a really weird, as far as like the normal seasonal temperatures go, it hasn't been normal here for a while. It's been really kind of weird. And it's not the whole in like a lying out like a lamb, etc. You know, we all remember that from our childhood, but ooh, I like that. I promise I'm almost done. Kibitzing around here. Alright, now I had a couple of things picked out. What the heck? What the heck? Oh, he's adorable. Alright. He might have to be stuck in there. I don't know. I just don't know today. It's a weird day. I had my birthday a couple of days ago, yes, and I appreciate anybody that, you know, goes to send me nice wishes and so on. You don't have to do that. I appreciate it. I'm not saying it for that reason, but I turned 66 a couple of days ago. And that is a weird feeling. Okay, I think that sits just fine there. What do you think? The letterbox? Alright, that's weird. Anyway, like I said, I wasn't saying it for that. I appreciate you guys. I always appreciate comments. Anyway, regardless, it's a weird feeling this is going to sound really, I don't know, weird. But it's a weird feeling watching the world change quite so much. And I'm not doing the whole, when I was a kid, I don't believe in that. I don't cotton to that crap. Alright, so she's going to go in there, or tucked in there. I'm not sure which side. Let's try some other things before we commit, shall we, Janet? I think that's a good idea. Okay, so why am I not jiving with anything right at the moment? Maybe because I'm trying too hard. Breathe, Janet, please. Oh, these are very good. Oh, those are awesome. Oh, holy doodle. Okay. That's what happens when you rummage through piles of stuff, right? You see something you like that you want to connect with in your whatever it is you're creating. Wow, I like this kind of, I do. Okay, so that's going to go right down there. And this boy, I think, is going to go there. Okay, so I do think that the boy needs to go there. There. This is awesome. Should I put him there? Do I have room? Nope, I don't. So let's get this on here. And there's my card gone again. Oh, I need to tie it with one of those glasses strings around my neck. I seriously do. Do I want him up or down? Up, I think. No. Up, I think, yes. All right. Yeah, I need one of the Mitten-Idiot strings for my card. Wouldn't that be funny? Hang it around my neck. I need to, though. I keep losing it in the pile of images or whatever. Too much glue. Okay. Now, I have some things here as far as lettering goes. Keepsakes. That's a good one. The Simple Life. I don't know, was it simple? I question that, but I like that term. Yeah, I think it sure seems, and oh God, this is gonna make me sound boomer again. And I know I'm the age of the boomer, but hey, you know, you get the discounts, right? It's like, I'm not saying, I mean, life with the electronics and stuff is amazing. Don't get me wrong. Absolutely amazing, at least in my opinion. But it also really complicates everything, you know? Like it complicates life, it complicates safety. There's things that it complicates. So yeah, it's not necessarily the simple life, you know? Not now, but it sure seems like it was a little bit simpler back then, even though it was a harder go, you know? You had to save for winter, at least depending, I guess, on which economic class you were in, you know. I think that there's a time in history, or different times in history, where I think people knew what was expected of them. That might be what I mean by simple. You know what I mean? I guess, again, depending on your economic class and so on, or what field of work you were in, farming, you know, manufacturing, whatever. I think that there was, you know, people kind of just knew what was expected of them, whether that was good or bad, you know. Not easy to say, but I think I like this, folks. I think I like how it turned out, even though You know, it started out such a crazy mishmash. I think I really like how it ended up, though. I do. And thank you for coming along with me on this way too long journey. I hope you guys have a great day. Bye.